The only difference now is that it has a starting point, and it has to be the end point. So where does this line start at? It starts at letter P or letter M? It starts at M because that's the one that has the end point. So this is going to be ray M to P. So kind of think of like, I don't know, like a water gun. It has a starting point where the water shoots out, and it only goes in that direction. So that's kind of like a ray. You have a starting end point, and then it goes over to one direction. So because it has a starting point, that's the letter we have to start with. So this is going to be ray M to P. Do you think I can call it M to O? Do you think that would make a difference? If I call this M to P, I'm going in the direction of P. Do you think it'd be different if I call it M to O?
No.
It wouldn't, because if I call it M to O, it's going in the direction of O. Is it going to eventually include that P? Yes. So M to P, M to O would be the proper names for a ray in that example. Opposite rays, it's just opposite directions. What's the opposite of going up? Going down, going left, going right. So it has to be opposite, left and right or up and down. Now, they have to have the same starting point. So if you notice here, it's going from K to J, and the opposite is K to L. And they both start with the same letter, K to J, K to L. Okay, so here we're going to name the same ray two different ways. So let's go with, X. If I started X, I can call the ray X to Z, what else? X to Y. All right, so X to Z, X to Y, and that little arrow is going over the direction that it's going, right? We're starting at X, going towards Z. What if I call it Y? What if I call it Y to Z? What would be another name for ray Y to Z? Y to X? Do you all agree that those would be the same rays? That they would eventually include the same points? Yes or no? Yes, okay, so then that would be and Y to X. All right, we're going to do opposite rays now. So where do you think I should start if I'm going to name two rays going in the opposite direction? Where? What was that, Catherine? No? Where do I think I should start my ray at if I have to name two rays going in two different directions? A? Are we talking about this one? Okay, but if I go X to Z, and that's to my right, I'm going to have to go X to something else to my left, and there's nothing there. Start at Z, so I can go Z to Y, and then where? Z to X, and those would be opposite rays. Good. So I can say Z to Y, and then Z to X, and those are going in opposite rays. Now, when you write the name, it doesn't look like that, right? Because they both start at Z and they go in the same, the arrow's going in the same direction. But if you trace them, if I go Z to Y is going to the right, and then Z to X is going to the left. So those are opposite rays. All right, naming angles. Guys, we have to get this one down because you will see angles going forward for the rest of the year. So angles, they're made up by two rays that meet up at the same endpoint. That same endpoint is called your vertex. The two rays that meet, these are called the sides. Now, you can name an angle several different ways. I'm going to call this angle CAB. Angle CAB. And if I go from CAB, do you think I would name a different angle if I called it BAC? Do you think it would be a different angle, or do you think I can name it BAC? I can name it BAC. It's not going to change it. Now, if you notice the name of both angles that I use, what do they have in common? What's the one thing that stayed the same between the two names? The middle letter, the letter A. And as long as that A, do we all agree that the two rays are meeting at this point? Yes. Then that's the letter that has to be in the middle. CAB, BAC. Now, this is just one angle. And because it's one angle, I can also call it angle A. Sometimes your angles have a number. And sometimes you can also use the numbers, angle 1. Okay, so this one though, this is the special one. That one can only be used if there's only one angle there. And I'll show you what it looks like when we have multiple ones. All right, who can tell me what they remember about an acute angle? Does anybody remember anything about an acute angle? Yes, ma'am. Less than 90, good. So it's greater than 0, but less than 90, good. What about a right angle? Who remembers anything about a right angle?
90 degrees.
It's exactly 90 degrees, good. What about an obtuse angle? It's more than 90? Or let's go this way. More than 90, but less than? Who remembers the other number?
180.
180. And then the straight angle. Who remembers what a straight angle equals? 180 degrees. Now this one, I'm going to tell you now, we're going to be using this one a lot, the 180. Okay? Give you guys a second to have that written out, and then we'll go over to the right side, okay? So on the right side of your notes, once we get there, we're going to do exactly what we did here, and it was naming the angle. Okay? So on the right side, who can give me a name of this angle? What would be one name for this angle? RST. And if we call it RST, we can also call it angle TSR. There is just one angle there, right, William? So I can call it angle S. And there is a number, so I can also call this angle 1. Okay. Now, this now does not have one angle. Do you see how this is one angle? This one has multiple angles. When you have multiple angles, we have to use 3 letters. Okay? So, we're going to practice naming an angle using 3 letters. So here is angle 1. And angle 1 starts at K, goes to J, and goes up to L. So I'm going to call this angle KJL. Okay? Let's try the next one. How can I name angle 2? N, okay, he says N, J to M. Do you think that one would work? Yes. Yes, N, J, M. How about the last angle, angle 3? PJN, good. PJN, NJP, as long as that letter J is the one in the middle. Good. All right, angle addition postulate, it's just like the segment addition postulate. You add 2 to get a bigger one, okay? So here we have the blue one. We have the blue angle. Next to it is the red angle. And if I add these 2 together, I'm going to get the whole angle. So what degrees do I have between the letters A, B, and D? What degrees? 60. All right, what degrees do I have between C, B, D? 40. And that's going to give me angle ABC. Therefore, what's the measurement of angle ABC? 100, good. 100 degrees. Okay, let's go down to the practice. So this one, I want to find DAB. Let me trace it, DA to B. I want to know this angle. So what do you think I should do with the 2 angles that are in between them? Those, add them, good. So I'm going to do 33. 33 plus 47, and what does that get us?
80.
80 degrees, good. Go ahead and try the one on the right. All right, who can give me the measurement of DAB? 84, good. We should have done what with the numbers? Add them. 65 plus 19, you guys say is 84 degrees, good. All right, let's go to the one underneath it. All right, look, do y'all see how that's a straight line? Angle DAB. Automatically, once we start seeing those straight lines, we're going to say that those are going to be 180 degrees. So if I tell you that DAB is 180 degrees, what would I do to find angle DACAD? And CAD is this one right here. How would I find that angle? Subtract it, good. So you have addition, you have subtraction. What's 180 minus 38? 142. All right, go ahead and try the next one. So I'm going to give you the total. All right, I give you that DAB is 89 degrees. The whole thing's 89, so how would I find that missing angle? Subtract again, so what's 89 minus 25? 54? Does everyone agree that one's 54?
No, 64.
Oh, 64?
Yeah.
Do we agree 64?
Yes.
All right, last page. Last page is called an angle bisector. Does anyone remember what bisecting meant when we talked about the segment bisector?
Yeah.
We have. Anybody remember bisecting? Bisecting, dissecting? Who remembers what that means? It's kind of like the midpoint. If we read the definition, it says a ray that divides an angle into two congruent smaller angles. So here we can say that the ray K to M, ray K to M, is the angle bisector of what angle? What angle is it dividing in half? Angle L, K, J. It's dividing that big angle in half. Angle L, K, J. So, what two angles are now congruent? Who can name me the two different angles that are now 42 degrees? LKM and angle MKJ, correct. LKM was this one in purple. MKJ is the one I marked in red. Now, if you notice these markings, you see how it's 1 and 1? That means those two are going to be the same now. And we're going to be doing that anytime we see the word bisector, okay? On example 5, it says, given that R to Q, so here's R to Q, given that R to Q is an angle bisector of angle PRS, so right then and there, because we know it's an angle bisector, I'm going to mark these two equal. I want you to find me the value of x and the value of the two angles, or the degrees of the two angles. So does anyone remember the phrase I said? I said anytime anything's equal, what do we do with them? Don't add them. Okay, anytime they're equal, set them equal. And again, I'm going to keep saying that. If they're equal, set them equal. They should equal the same thing. So I'm going to take x plus 40 and set it equal to 3x minus 20. So if I wanted to move my x, how would I properly move it over? Subtract the x. 3x minus 1x is 2x. What would I move over now? Good. Add the 20 to the other side. 40 plus 20 is 60. And what would be our last step? Divide by 2. So your x is going to be 30? Okay. So we found the x. We got that one. We still need to figure out PRQ and PRS. So look at PRQ. PRQ is this one right here. P, R to Q. So where do I need to plug in the 30 into what equation? X plus 40, good. So angle PRQ is x plus 40. What did we just say x was equal to? 30. 30 plus 40 is 70. Now, we got the second question taken care of. The last question says, what's the whole thing then? What's PRS? Well, what did we just say about these two angles? We said that they are what to each other? Equal, that they're the same. So if I wanted to know this big purple angle, PRS, what would I do with that 70? I would know this is 70, therefore this one is 70. So then to figure out PRS, what am I going to add? 70 plus 70. So 70 plus 70 gives us 140. That substitution's never going to go away, so always read your questions carefully. All right, in example 6, here it says in the picture here, K to J and K to M are opposite rays. So when they tell you they're opposite rays, that means that's going to make a straight line. K to N, bisects JKL. So here's angle JKL. And what is the ray K to N doing to it if it's bisecting it? What is the red ray doing to my blue angle if it's bisecting it? Cutting it in half. Therefore, these two are equal. So then I go on to tell you that angle JKL is 166. So if this whole thing is 166, can we figure out what each one is? Good. So let's do 166 divided by 2. This is going to get us 83. So this one's 83, and this one's 83, because altogether it should be 166. The next piece of information they give us is that NKL, NKNL is 6x plus 19. This one right here is 6x plus 19, this angle right there. Well, we already know what it should equal. What should this equal? 83, and that's how you're going to set them equal. You're going to say 6x plus 19 should be 83. So all we have to figure out is what the x is. So what would I properly move over first? 19. Okay, let's subtract 19. Can someone give me 83 after 19 is subtracted? 64. All right, let's divide both by 6. And what do we get after we divide by 6? 10.66 repeating. And that's it. All right, let's look at the last one together. K to J and K to M are opposite rays again. K to N bisects angle JKL. So that piece right there. K to N bisects JKL. So here's JKL. So what is K and N doing to that angle? Cutting it in half, so mark them the same. It says suppose JKL is 114. If this red angle is 114, how do we figure out what each piece is? Okay, so let's take 114, divide it by 2, and what do we get?
57.
Okay. So this is 57, and this one's 57. The last piece they give you is that JKN is 5 plus 2. 5y plus 2. And that's JKN. So how do I solve for y here? What do I want to do with those, all that piece of information? So each angle is 57. I know this angle is equal to 5x plus 2. So how do I solve for y? Equals 57, good. Let's subtract 2 from both sides. 5y is going to equal. All right, let's divide both by 5, and y is equal to 11.